a lot of us go into business potentially with like blinkers on and going,
Yeah.
oh, it's actually easier than we think it is. Or maybe
Hmm.
our expectations are out from the off. And we were having conversations recently actually about how I think it's such a noisy place out there, and there's so many messaging like landing on our shoulders and in our eyes all the time of you could be earning like 50K months by working 1 day a week. And
Hmm.
there you are on a beach with a cocktail going, yay, I've done it.
Right.
And
Right.
we actually, I don't know how that's achievable personally. I'd love to know. Um, but I think we kind of forget that, or are just genuinely not aware. There's a lot of graft that has to go in the
Yeah.
background, which can take from you mentally, physically, relationships,
Hmm.
and everything. And I'm sure you've got like a million stories from all of your coaching experience.
I do. I do. So many. And my own experience of running businesses and just learning how challenging it can be to build a successful business. And we could go for hours on what does a successful business mean, but I digress. So build a successful business while also creating a great, successful home life simultaneously. That is the art. And so often I find that people are binary. They think it's either or. It's
Yeah.
I either will grow a great business knowing that my home life will sacrifice and suffer, or I say, nothing's more important than my home life. And so I'll have a great home life knowing that my business won't really grow the way that I'd like it to be. And I settle. And it doesn't have to be either or. The genius is, how do I do and? How can I be great as a business leader and owner and build a profitable business that supports my life and a wonderful home life where I feel balanced, where I feel at peace, where I feel like I'm building meaningful, lasting relationships. It doesn't have to be either or, but often we get in that trap because it's really tough to figure out how to do both. And frankly, it's why I do what I do, because I've seen too many business owners get stuck in that binary trap and convince themselves that it's either or, and it's not. There's ways to work through that.
So, where do you even start to help somebody in that? So, if they have swung from one to the other, maybe they've just gone in going like, it's all about the business and
Yeah.
everything is like just looking really ropey on the family front and life is kind of falling apart a little bit. Like, how do you even start to help somebody
Yeah.
rebuild that?
First, can I just comment on ropey? Love it. The British culture is my favorite. And when I hear the new
I'll
words
wait.
and the
You wait
slang,
and see what else comes out of our mouths.
I love it. So good. So you're right. More often than not, if someone's going to be imbalanced, it's in favor of the business and not at home. Because for a few reasons, the business is what fuels our livelihood, and ultimately we try to start the business to support our personal lives. And then you get wrapped in the stress and the difficulty of it, of how hard it is, and you get sucked in. And you tell yourself, I'll just do this for the next year, or I'll be heads down for 3 years. And then when I come up for air, then it'll be okay, or whatever, right? So we tell ourselves that. So how do you begin that process to help someone? First, what I do is I purposely choose clients that actually do want a healthy home life. There are some business owners that when they're really honest, they don't. They don't they don't care. I don't select them as clients. And I do quite a bit of due diligence up front where we both kind of ask questions. There's a questionnaire. And so once the client is in that place of, I do want a home life, then I can answer your question. So I first ask them, where are they on that focus of what's important to them with building a profitable business and having a healthy home life. And I get honest with them, and I really push the honesty and actually extract the honesty out of them. Because often we tell ourselves something, We say, yeah, I really want a great business and a great home life. And then I say, great, let's check your diary. Does your diary actually manifest that desire? Because we say we want something, but if you look at your diary, your actions do not align with your words. So I make sure that, first of all, I'm clear on their desire. Then, secondly, I look at what their words and their actions are actually saying and how aligned we are. I call it a say do ratio. And if the say do ratio is 1-to-1, good. So, meaning I say this, then I also do this, great. But often most human beings say do ratios are way out of whack. We say this, but about 1 times out of 3, 4, we actually do it. And the more integrous we can be, and the more integrity with ourselves, the more aligned we are with the 1-to-1 say do ratio. So I just right away quickly figure out that gap. And then once I figure out the gap, then we go into what is holding us back. Almost always, what holds us back from actually doing what we say we'll do as far as balancing a great business and home life is fear. It all comes down to fear, masked in all sorts of different packages and flavors and lenses. But it's fear of not being enough, fear of failure, fear of just not being able to provide the value you'd like, going out of business, like all sorts of things. But we are often as humans run by our fears. And it's so deep and so subconscious, we don't even realize it. That's why having a great mentor, a great coach can help extract that and then help people see themselves more clearly. So that was a long answer, but that's kind of the beginning stages of what I do to help people figure out how do I do this? How do I get to a place of working on both versus being binary in my thinking?